I'm Phil.
And welcome to our Mudlarking Happy Hour, and it's great that so many of you can join us. I've seen all the chat going on.
Yes.
Before we do anything else, I have to say, brilliant to hear, Jeff, that you're doing so well, and we really can't wait for you to get back home, so keep getting better.
Yes, and you may have noticed it's jumpers tonight. Autumn has arrived in Wales.
Yes, with a vengeance.
Yeah, we have had 2 very nice days, but that was not today. And I made the mistake earlier on of rushing out the door to go to the post office in a t-shirt and sandals. And I got to the post office, and the gentleman down there knows me well, and he said, "How you doing?" I said, "Well, I'd be doing a lot better if this was yesterday." I am dressed for yesterday, and it was cold. Yes. So I've made up for it now, and I've got the old M&S jumper out.
Got his woolies on,
Yes, and sorted, ready to go. And as Carly said, great to see so many of you. 72 people in already.
Lovely, brilliant.
And the
Thank
numbers
you for joining us.
rising every moment. And I echo Caroline's sentiments. I put a message in there to Jeff. I'm sure all of you are doing the same. It's fantastic to hear him saying that he's pulled through. He's on the mend. And hoping to be home soon. So that's great.
Brilliant news.
Absolutely fantastic, mate.
Right, so let's have a look at our first 3 in today, and no surprise. Number 1 on the podium is Adam Gates Mudlarking. Well done, Adam. First again.
Wow.
Second place, Little Owl Bags. Well done. And third place, Chris Miner. So well done. And Jan Wilder was just pipped out of the run-in at 4th place. And then there's lots and lots and lots of chat coming in. So it's lovely to know you're all getting on. If it's your first time here in the chat, don't be shy, jump on in. If you see a conversation going on, just join in with it, because everybody here is lovely. You won't feel awkward at all. Everybody loves to chat.
Everyone is talking about the fact we've changed positions. We haven't.
No, we haven't now.
No, we did last week.
We did, yes.
Yes. You're not watching last week's here, folks. You're not in this week's chat watching last week's show. Do you know what? I didn't even realise that we'd switched sides. I said to Karen, we didn't switch sides. When we were in Hastings, we were the same side. And when I looked, no, we had.
Just a second. Hello, Derek. Lovely to see you in.
Hiya, Derek. Great you could join us, mate.
Right, sorry.
I was just saying, when we were in Hastings, I thought we were still the same side as we are now. But we had actually switched sides.
We had, yes.
I think that's probably because I was up getting Max off to sleep, and you'd set everything up that way for me to come in. And I was down in time. But everybody's saying we're the wrong way round. There we go. But we're not.
No, we're the right way round.
You're always over there. I'm always over here.
Unless we've completely forgotten everything.
No, my chair is always here.
Yes.
I'm on my chair. That's why Caroline's the same height as me, is because I'm on my chair.
Oh, Jen said, is your screen mirroring? Now let's have a think.
Maybe somebody is.
When I look at the screen, how are we going to work this out now? Because I'm actually stood, Phil is on my left.
Caroline's on my right.
So how does that work to your screen? Are we still wrong?
No.
I'm not sure. I know the shelves are crooked. Our camera is on one of these little sort of levery arms, and we've taken it away with us, and it got pushed into the case and bent.
Yes.
And so now I'm fiddling around with it, so you just...
Don't do it.
It doesn't make it any worse. If anything, sometimes it gets better, and I can see the camera is actually...
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, I think it's straight.
The house
now.
is level.
Not very well.
The shelves are definitely level. That's where they can carry bricks. There's a reinforcement rod under there holding those up. But there we go.
Lorna said we're definitely the wrong way around tonight.
Well, there we are.
I've done something strange then. I did have a problem. I got back and we were upside down, and we couldn't do the whole show hanging from the ceiling. So I went into all the settings and I had a look, and I couldn't find anything to turn it round, and then I realised that the end of the camera needed turning. So I turned that, and then he said, "Do you want to save your changes?" So I said no. So I didn't think anything had changed, but obviously it has.
You moved my teapot.
Strange. I did, because I couldn't get it in on the bricks. I was trying to be as level as possible, you see.
I noticed, because I thought, because Paddlington was this side, see, I was getting similar height.
There you go.
See,
better now.
Similarity of height. See?
It's fitted in now.
Symmetry.
Still wonky. Oh well. Anyway, what if you get on with something a little bit more mudlarking rather than...
Mudlarking? Who mentioned mudlarking?
Rather than positional. Right.
Right then. What are you going to do?
What are we going to do? What should we start
with?
I'll do a find. I'm going to show you my... Now, Adam, you can't eat it.
No, Adam wants to eat our slipware.
It's my bit of slipware, and I've never found such a big chunk of slipware. I think... I've been thinking back, and I may have found a little tiny piece of this down on the beach. in Beachley.
Bob just said, with all these things, with everything being turned around, if I put the answer B, will you think I said D?
Good point.
Don't worry, due to the fact it's only ABC, I'll assume all D's are B's for the purposes of this quiz.
Now I've got myself completely confused. I'm talking and I'm thinking, I've just edited. Oh, just a second. Something's coming on Ko-fi. Let's go over and have a look. Just give me a second. Put my glasses on so I can see.
People saying that I'm Norm. Mo is saying, Phil, you're usually on my right looking at the screen.
Yeah.
He's on the left side.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm on the left side in my screen as well.
Right. So what do I need to do to go on to thingy? Anyway, as I was saying, as I'm trying to fiddle around with this.
What were you saying?
Oh, Brian O'Brien. Thank you, Brian. Brian's given us a £3 super chat. Thank you. It was a Ko-fi donation. Thank you ever so much. I'm trying to get the hang of checking that out when I hear the little noise. And I've got myself
Sometimes
distracted.
it comes up on the screen.
Anyway, I am completely distracted because I'm not going to be here all week. I've had to edit 2 videos in a row and I can't remember which one's which. So I was just going to say about... I remember saying I hadn't found one of these where we were, and then I thought, boy, we were in Beachley. And that's what I went to say to you. I'm sure I found a bit, but we weren't in Beachley. No.
Bev, calm down now. We were in Sarawi.
Oops. Something else just went on off on Ko-fi. Let me have a look.
And due to the fact you never went back, you should be able to tell.
Yes. It is... Oh, let's have a look. I can't see it. There's no name, I don't think. Oh, Christina, thank you so much, Christina, for a £3 donation on Ko-fi. That's really kind of you. Thank you.
James Archer said, I don't care which way round you are.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, and Lake Frog, thanks for the adventures.
Lake Frog, thank you.
Us, super chat to $5. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. It's very generous. And it's nice that people are interrupting Caroline for a change.
Yes,
not interrupting
does make a change. Right then. So anyway, I'm probably talking rubbish now because I'm completely confused. I've got all that going on.
I'm
a slipway. And Adam,
show them the slipway.
On the live show last night, Adam, on the premiere,
wanted
to eat it. Now I do understand what he means because it looks to me like white chocolate with brown chocolate decorations, and I always think, they should make a box of chocolates that look like, slipway that you found on the Thames or whatever, but cleaner and healthier. So there's my piece of slipway, which is for us a very, a very decent size. Right. You got
Ed Creative is asking, is that spelt Sirwory? It's actually spelt... How is it spelt? I can't remember.
Sir S-I-R.
Yeah.
And then H-O-W-Y.
Sarawi.
Sarawi, yes.
So it's Sir and Howie.
Howie.
There we go. That's how it's spelled.
Right then. So, Phyllis said you'll just do the hokey pokey and turn ourselves around. There we go. Well, either you could or we could. But if we both do it, we cancel it out, don't we?
But I'm definitely sat where I was always sat. There's a strange something going on, I tell you. Between the buffering, the silences, and now YouTube are turning us round.
Have you noticed on the premieres, the buffering is a lot better. It's still happening, but it's a lot better than it was. Is. And also, I may not have sorted out the little jingle for the mail time, but I have sorted out the sound problem.
Yes.
Finally, we have spent weeks and weeks trying to get to the bottom of it, and we finally found out what the problem is. So it takes a bit longer to do the edit, but I've sorted it, so no more silences.
Shall we do a question?
Yes, let's do a question.
Let's do a question. Right. I can't remember who it was, but one of our regular commentators made a comment. Why don't we have any questions related to music? And suggested one that I could have done last week related to music and related to our finds. And I did say that's a brilliant idea. And I remember way back when we started live shows, I did do one related to the band Mud and their top 10 singles. So here is a music related question, folks. So for all those whose specialist subject is music.
And if I can say, I can see you cheating. I can see all those answers that have come in and we haven't asked the question yet.
That's all right. I had quite a lot of answers on the premiere yesterday.
Well, Jeff's doing well. He's got A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3. That's
Ah.
very impressive.
Well, they don't count. But
Right.
anybody out there whose speciality is music, popular music, particularly the decade of the 1950s,
That's not me.
it's not going to help. Because the question is this. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. See? Got that from the fact that we invented the new game, Let's Get Lucky, with magnet fishing. Lucky, lucky, lucky me, recorded by Evelyn Knight in 1950, was used as an advert by which car producer? Was it A, Honda, B, Citroen, or C, Hyundai? Which car producer used the 1950 song Lucky, Lucky, Lucky Me in their advertisement? I believe it was in 2018 or 19. It's quite recently. Was it Honda, Citroen, or Hyundai?
Right, now there's the right answer there.
Right,
Because- I've got to go back. Ed Creative, that was really cruel. He said, go back and read my last comment. If you all fancy going back and reading his last comment, it took me ages. That's why I was looking distracted. All right. You've got to read it backwards.
Right, so there we go. That's
Okay,
the
so you've
first
got
correct
our-
answer, is it?
Yep.
Right, here.
Ooh, let's have a look how the answers are going. Not so many answers coming in.
No, we
Oh,
got.
I don't know. Yes, they are. My
Yeah.
computer jumped. I thought there's only 5 answers. No, there's not.
No,
there
no.
are a lot.
Oh yes, I
Ooh,
could
lots of
see.
guesses.
I could see 4 correct answers in the top section of the page.
Mudlarker Arizona said no idea. That sounds like me. I usually guess.
So that's the point. By giving you multiple choice, we didn't used to have multiple choice, and then we introduced it because it gives everybody a chance at a guess. But also, it's fairer for those who are a little slower typing, because particularly if people have got arthritis, that can be really hard to try and be a bit quick on the fingers. Now you just have to hit one key. So go for
Jan
it.
said Honda, Hyundai.
Aye. Welsh car manufacturers. No H's here, kid.
No, from Abercumboy. That's Rufus.
There's no one called Harry in Wales. They're all called Harry. We got Prince Harry.
Well, it depends where you're from. Some part of Wales use it. They pronounce their H's.
Cardiff, do.
But some places speak really fast, and in the valleys is one of those
Yes.
places where we speak really fast.
I
and the
know.
only way to speak, like this isn't our normal speaking speed at all. The only way to speak at the normal speed, you haven't got time to fit an H in. You're just so. Brrrt. So
And
that's why we don't pronounce our H's.
The Welsh language, which we don't speak, but obviously we are from Wales and therefore we speak in the same accent and we speak at the same pace. But the Welsh language is beautiful because it does modify to allow.
Oh yes, we've got mutations.
It modifies to allow for spoken word so that you can chop the end off something, take the beginning of something, you can merge things.
Like in Wales is yn Cymru, but because we can't be bothered to say yn Cymru, we say yng Nghymru, and we take off the beginning of the word and put NGH because it's quicker to say yng Nghymru than yn Cymru.
That's right.
So we've even altered our language to make it super fast to speak.
But I have had to apologise to several people this week in the comments who've been ever so nice, and it's lovely to think that people out there will actually replay things to try and work out what we're saying if we go a little bit fast. But we do try to remember to speak slowly.
Yes, you don't see quite often. You can't see me doing anything, but I'm actually doing this to Phil.
Carly's
sometimes
slowing me down.
Phil doesn't notice when I'm speaking fast, but I notice when Phil is, and so sometimes I'm there. I've got my hand signals when we're filming. I've got my camera in this hand, and I'm going slow down or speak louder. That's the only 2 signals I got. Slow down, speak louder, and he still gets them jumbled up.
I do. I think she's telling me to shut up. In sign language. Right then. Lots and lots of answers. And quite a few of them are right.
Ooh, always a nice treat.
On the top section, I'd say almost 50% were right.
Well done.
Now, Adam was the first to answer officially after everyone had cheated, but he was wrong. Sorry, Adam, you were fast, but it wasn't Citroen. Actually, it was, as the second guess says, Lynn Bean, it was a Hyundai.
Can you hear that? We've got a helicopter
Police
again.
helicopter.
Lexi, can you check out what that is?
It's going to be...
Are they coming? They looking for us?
It's got to be the police. Somebody's on the run again.
Usually is.
So, it's a Hyundai, and if you check out the advert, lovely feel-good advert, but a lovely song as well. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. So, Lynn Bean adds C, and then Lynette Evans adds C, and Dean Wall adds C. And Dean, you got in there on the 3rd position. If you'd been a second later, you might have lost it to Ed Creative, because he was right there with a C as well. But our top 3 are Lynn, Lynette, Dean.
Well done. I'm finding this conversation very funny. Flower Girl in Ward 17 said he had to have his eggs and ham.
Well,
he had to have his eggs and ham.
Hegs.
Hegs. That's the problem.
Hegs and ham.
I tried to pronounce my...
Ham and hegs.
I tried to speak as normally as...
We have
as
ham and
non-Welsh
eggs.
people. But then you end up putting H's where you don't need them.
But we don't use them. We do say ham and eggs.
James Archer says, Ravu, slow down. Well done, James. Right. Oh, there you are. Ed said it's an Augusta Westland helicopter. Ooh, very grand. We got
Does that
an
belong to
Augusta
the police?
Westland helicopter.
Does that belong to the police? They're usually out. Usually you can see their searchlight because they're looking for somebody. But
that's really freaky, that is. If ever you hear the helicopter and you can see the searchlight going in your garden, we've had it a few times now, and like, oh, what if there's somebody in the garden? It makes me really scared. But it never is.
So our first question was based on our new game that we invented.
Whoa. I've got to stop you because Lexi said it's a Bristow helicopter from Flemington. Now, what is somebody in Flemington doing flying over my house? Thank you, Lexi.
These people know too much. You know?
I know, it's amazing what you can find out, isn't it?
Right then, so as I was saying...
Yes, Linda, it is.
Have you finished now?
Yes, I finished. Sorry, there's
No,
just too
you're
much
just too
going on in
lazy
this
to
chat.
type. You type. I'll talk, you type. Go on.
Then you
That's
it's
right.
right next door to the microphone.
Well, I might do a tick, but I could get a word in edgeways.
Not fight over it.
No, because I always lose. As I was saying, lucky, lucky, lucky me. That was drawn in out of our little bit of a game. We wanted to take the magnet. A few people had mentioned about magnet fishing, and we wanted to take it along and have a go. But obviously, the waters were quite low. Also, the area was a bit of a problematic one because we kept getting... I've got some here somewhere. There's a piece. We kept picking up this sort of thing, which is iron ore.
Shame we couldn't sell that for £100 a pound.
Obviously, back in the old days of smelting, they didn't purify the iron as well as they would today. They probably get virtually everything out now. But what they were throwing away had a lot of iron in it because this picks up on the magnet. That's not such an issue. The big issue is all the grit. Virtually all the grit in the bottom of that river is magnetic. It's all from the foundry. But we did find a few bits. Now, Caroline said she found an iron bar, but actually it's an iron pipe, which is corroded up. See, I noticed only when I cleaned it today. It is solid because it's fully
rubbish.
It's fully corroded up, but it is an iron pipe. So Caroline picked that up, and you pulled that in, I think, with this, didn't you? You had a double whammy. You got the spring as well, which is quite a substantial spring, and it's complete because it's got its coiled end where it could be fitted and screwed together, so that would have been compressed between something. And of course, I was the first one to catch something, wasn't I?
You
and that
was, as usual.
This, I am convinced now, the more I look at it, because of the angle of this, which is quite shallow, I would say that was off a cauldron jam pot type thing rather than just a bucket. And that's a
jam pan rather than
jam
pot.
pan, yeah. And that's quite a substantial chunk, isn't it? That tag there to hold it on. But I was quite pleased with that. That's a nice looking thing.
Richard said, "Is it a bed spring?" I'm not quite sure, Richard. I thought bed springs were bigger and they tend to be like a dog, sort of dog boat. They go like that, like hourglass shape, aren't they? But they could be from a smaller bed. I know our bunk beds when I was a little girl, they were just like flat and they were awful. They were. And every time you turned over, the one person would wake the other person up.
There's the end there where it would have been fixed. And this end is corroded.
Brian O'Brien said bicycle seat spring. Good point. Is it the
Ah,
right size
yes.
for that?
2 of those on the back of a bicycle seat. I think you may have hit on something there. That certainly makes sense. There we are, see, when we all start guessing, put our brains together.
I've seen there was a designer and they made shoes, and on the heel, the stiletto heel, the pointy heel of the shoe, they put springs. And they said you wouldn't believe how many people come into the shop and actually try to squash the heels to see if they spring up and down, because it was purely decorative and you couldn't walk. If you had springs on your heels, you'd fall over. But you said it's amazing to see, so I just dropped that in. But useless information, you never know. Somebody might need it one day when they're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they say, what did people do when they saw springs on the heels of shoes? Could happen.
Yeah, now you know.
Unlikely.
Now, there was one find that from the top of the riverbank, and Caroline pointed out that when I was speaking to camera, that I was 2 different heights above the river when I spotted this find. Because I actually said there's a 9-foot drop, and as I looked down, 8 foot.
And I think I said 7 foot.
But there's a good reason for that. It's not that we're rubbish at estimating, although we probably are. It's because we were on a mountain. It was on a slope.
Yep.
And the drop off the end was 9 foot. Where I was standing, it was about 8, and back by you was about 6 or 7, because it was sloping down as we came. But there was no way. It's incredible. If you were to go back to our earliest videos, we've got a video up there in the snow, and have a look at the line of that river. Even in the last 2 years, it has dramatically changed.
Yeah.
Dramatically. There was a footpath right across where now there's nothing. And you may have noticed while we were down in that river, all the fence posts and the fencing, well, that used to be up keeping the sheep back.
That was up
on the top,
8 foot up high.
keeping the sheep off the path. And now the path has gone and the fence has gone, and it's just eaten it all away. But as I looked in, I think it's on your side, we found the Brill cream jar. And the reason I'm introducing the Brill cream jar is because I've cleaned it. And I think if I take the trouble to clean it, I think people should see it. So there we go. But that was quite a chunky jar of Brill cream. They weren't all that big.
Oh, I'm going to introduce you.
Introduce me, dear. I'm Phil.
Oh, it's been a long day. Oh,
Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. £5 super chat. Thank you, Caroline Phil, for your content and videos. You are a joy to watch. Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. That's really kind of you. Thank you.
That's brilliant. And thank you to everyone for all the lovely comments that we're getting. I'm still answering comments, obviously, but
People get there.
I'm much more on top of it now. I got 3 weeks behind at one point when work inundated me, but I'm back up to speed. But we love reading the comments, and it's so encouraging for us because we are deliberately changing the content. We are deliberately. This is not accidental. The bringing in the shed and doing the various visits. We want to try and make it more of a magazine program, more entertaining, covering different areas for people to enjoy, because we've realised the value to you, the folks watching, of the entertainment that comes out of videos. Not just here's a find, but trying to add to that. So the feedback we get in the comments and the people comment on the music and on the drive videos and everything else, it's such a help to us as we are just finding our way, because that's so important to us. So please keep your comments coming, because we really appreciate them. And that's a wonderful comment from a friend.
I'm just going to interrupt you a minute, because Alan said, Pam wants to know what kind of jam you're making, Caroline. I haven't made jam for years now. I used to make gooseberry jam, because I grew gooseberries in my allotment, and I used to make strawberry jam, because I grew strawberries in my allotment. But other than that, I don't think... Oh, I made plum jam once. A friend had a plum tree, and I made plum jam.
We still got the thermometer in the drawer.
Just in case one day I get tempted.
I don't know if we've got a pan anymore.
No, I don't think we have.
Kept the thermometer. The pan was a bit big to keep if you're not going to use it. But there it is. One large Brill cream jar, probably from the 1950s, I would say. Later, Brill cream went to a round tub that's slightly tapered, and it was red. But there we go. Brill cream. So shall I ask the Brill cream question?
You can. Jenny said, I think the writing is backwards on the Brill cream. We've got a problem with the camera, Jenny. For some reason, we're reversed tonight, so it probably does look backwards too.
Well, that explains why we're the wrong way round, because obviously we've been completely reversed. I think that possibly when Caroline was dealing with the technical issues of us being upside down and on the ceiling, because Caroline couldn't figure it out in there, and because Timbo had popped off to the supermarket to do a bit of shopping, Caroline came up with a brilliant idea. And she 180 degrees flipped over the camera.
It shouldn't really.
I know it shouldn't,
backwards, though.
but maybe it is. Or maybe you press something in there first.
Technology hates
don't
me.
worry. We're just a mirror image of ourselves. So there we are. There's Brill Cream written backwards. But the question will be spoken forwards if you give me a jingle.
A jingle?
Jingle,
Let me
jingle.
find my jingle.
I want a jingle.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, you done it again. You done it again.
I tell you, my brain is fried tonight. I've done so much editing.
Right then. Brill Cream has been keeping quiffs in place since 1928. Now, the creators of Brill Cream originally only sold it to barbers, which I don't know if that was the full intent of them, but I think if it wasn't, it was a clever ploy. Sell it to the barbers, get the barbers using it, get everybody saying, I wish I had that stuff the barber puts on my hair before I leave, because it never looks that good after, and then shove it out on the market. It may have been a very clever ploy, because I know it was 100 years ago, but as we've seen from so many of the stories we've told, these guys knew what they were doing, and the ladies, they really were up there, and business people were as clever then as they are today. So Brill Cream originally was sent only to the barbers and later was sold to the general public by County Chemicals, who founded their company in which major city? Did County Chemicals found their company for Brill Cream in A, Bradford, B, Birmingham, or C, Bristol? Which do you think, folks? A, Bradford, B, Birmingham, or C, Bristol? And as you know, it definitely, the answer, I'll give you a clue, the answer definitely begins with a B.
Ooh, right then, let's have a look. Oh, Gunrali's given us a door for oh, what do you call those? It's not a gnome, is it? It could be a gnome. I haven't got my glasses on. Oh, wait a minute now, Adam has come in with that. And there we go. Can you see this here, winner?
Yeah, and then that one.
Linda said, I'm a little dabble do ya. Now remember...
that's our song. It's the little ditty, innit? There's a little song they used to sing back in the advert.
I only remember a little bit of Brill Cream on damp hair gives it the Brill Cream bounce.
Before
That's what
that,
I remember.
no, they had one all about the girls will chase you and all sorts in it. Yeah, I've had it all through the comments back in the day.
No,
Well,
I'm
'cause
sorry.
we've covered
Your jar is empty.
We've covered Brill Cream a few times in various ways.
My father used to use Brill Cream.
That's why I didn't ask. Yeah, Brill Cream and Old Spice. They were the men's beauty products at one
That was
time.
it.
You either smelt of sweat or Old Spice. And then they came out with Brute and then Karate, and in the 70s they
High karate. Wasn't
High
it?
Karate. Yeah, but
Because the Old Spice used to use that. Did they used to use the same music as the Your Needing line?
possibly similar.
No, I don't think they did they?
But they
No.
did the one with the water, the sea,
Yes.
and because one of my brothers, is it Mike or Jeremy? One of them still uses Old Spice.
Yeah, it's Mike, your younger brother, which is quite unusual. Most people...
I think it's probably because my dad always used it. And of course, we haven't had dad around since my dad passed away when I was 6, and Mike is 2 years younger than me. So maybe it was just that link with dad made him try it, and then he stuck with it. But it's still around. Yeah, we still get the Christmas sets and everything else. But I think other things have sort of climbed up the market much further. Anyway, folks, I don't think many people use Brill Cream today because, of course, Brill Cream really hit the big time, I suppose, with the Teddy Boys and the Quiffs and all that when they needed something to hold their hair in place. The old DA and everything, wasn't it? Back in the rock and roll
Phil's brother
years.
used to use chip fat lard.
Well, yes.
His elder brother.
He'd use whatever was there if he'd been out. Can
you imagine the smell of that? Oh,
my brother and I, well, we were all pretty much into rock and roll. We were born too late because our teenage years were in the 70s, but we loved the rock and roll. The cassette that I nearly wore out, well, I did wear out, was Buddy Holly. That was a cassette I always had in the car when I was a teenager. Everybody else was listening to all these different bands that I didn't even know anything about. I just love Buddy Holly and all the old songs. But here comes the answer, folks. Is it Bradford, Birmingham or Bristol? Well, I will say this. Congratulations to the first 2 correct answers, because they actually typed the word out in full, and it is the longest word there. It's Birmingham.
Yeah.
It is. It's Birmingham, folks. And Adam, this time you were first. You were first answer. You were correct answer,
Adam.
and you typed the whole word. Obviously,
He's fast.
These youngsters,
yes.
they're
Nimble
quick. They're
fingers.
quick. They're quick. Jeff was pretty fast as well, except he put Bradford.
Oh,
So,
nearly.
well
We thought
done.
we'd be.
Well done, Jeff. You definitely would have been second if you hadn't got it wrong. But it was West Country Mudlarks. Well done. And they
well
typed
done.
out Birmingham as well and got it in. And then with simply a B, but that's good enough for me, Mr. Richard Serridge.
Well done. All 3, well done.
And just to give a mention, because I did on the last one, Little Owl's Bags was just a whisker behind Richard, because they're right next door to each other, both put in B. So it's Adam and West Country Mudlarks and Richard. You have got the top 3 places, because since 1928, Brill Cream has been set up in Birmingham.
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 Right, just a quick answer. Catherine Lamb said, Caroline, can you please let me know when you get a donation, which is the best way for you to get more of the money? Thanks, Catherine. If you give a super chat, they do take a certain percentage off. If you give us a donation through our Ko-fi link, then they don't take anything off. So
The only fee we pay on the Ko-fi link is our PayPal fee, because when it comes through
which
there,
is like a bank charge.
which is like a bank charge. But there is a percentage to YouTube, because in fairness to YouTube, they set it all up. They give us it all free, but they do take a percentage of the fund of any super chat that's given, just for people to understand how it works. But however you give, we are grateful. It's all a tremendous help to what we do, and a
yes,
tremendous
thank you to
encouragement.
everybody who gives us donations. We really do appreciate it. But however you do it.
Also, just to mention, if you make a one-off donation through Ko-fi, then for that month, Ko-fi will allow you to watch any videos that are put out for regular donators, because we always give it to one-offs and regulars, don't we? So if you make a donation, you'll be able to watch the little cameo videos we put over there.
Yeah, but we can't build that into people giving a super chat. It's really
No.
irritating, but we can't.
But if you give on a monthly basis over on Ko-fi, then you get to see every single cameo that goes out. So there
I
is
can
that
do
bonus.
monthly or just one-off support
Yeah.
then for that month.
Yeah. So there we go. So that's another advantage. But however you give, we are so grateful.
Oh,
for those who
Meredith,
give
you want to
to us.
watch out. Graham says he has a tub of Brill cream upstairs. And looking at all these comments, all the girls are going to be chasing him now.
They will. And of course, in thanking everybody for all of their gifts through these various ways, we should also remember to say a big thank you to those who send us gifts from time to time off our Amazon wish list, because we have an Amazon wish list. Each of us have an Amazon wish list, but we also have one on Caroline's Art channel, and people buy from there, and we have one on the Mudlarking channel, and people buy from there. And you've received gifts just this week,
Yes,
haven't
I
you?
got a video going out this Tuesday, I think it is, and there I got some happy mail I've had off Phyllis and off Jeff.
There we go.
So,
So thank you to
thank
everyone
you in advance
who
for that.
sends us gifts.
I have opened them and I've started playing with
And
them.
actually, we've got some things to show today, haven't we?
We have. Shall we do
indeed.
some happy mail with
Now,
my still unfixed mail time? They still sparkles.
Because we're holding one back, aren't we? Because it's for next. Because we're going to use it next week, is it?
Yes, we've had a Halloween.
We've had a
one.
Halloweeny one, so that's going to come out next week.
Yes,
I think.
we'll do that next
We'll do that next week on because it will be Halloween next week, won't it?
No, it'll be the 30th, isn't it?
Yes, it'll be the day before.
Right then, so I gotta be careful. So many addresses on these packaging. I've had this. I can't. Let me open it up. You can see I've opened it. I couldn't get the item back in.
Now this is a bit of a combination in one way, because this will probably be shown on your other channel as well, because it is
From
somebody who
Catherine.
watches both our channels, because it's Catherine Chris, but Catherine Chris on here is the eclectic.
Thrifter and crafter, or the thrifter, crafter and thrifter.
One
I can never remember which way round it is. She's got a brilliant channel. You ought to check her out. She's nothing like us. She's very relaxing and calm and soothing. If you need to be calmed and soothed, then the eclectic thrifter and crafter, I think it is.
Yeah, they do hashtag Tea Tuesday, don't they?
Yes.
And they've had, Catherine's actually put one out making tea for you.
Yes, she was having coffee with me, and I'll show you now. I'll show you that first.
Yes.
She sent me the packet. Let's take this off. I knew there was a message somewhere. It says, "Hello, I hope you will enjoy a cup of coffee on me, Catherine." And this is wild huckleberry coffee. Ooh. And it's 100% Arabica coffee, natural and artificial huckleberry flavours. So I'm looking forward to trying this. I've never had it before, anything like it. Doesn't that look like the Cadbury's colour? All Cadbury chocolates in that colour. So I'm going to settle down. I can make a pot full with this. So Phil and I are going to settle down and watch one of Catherine's videos while we drink the coffee. But I'm not doing that tonight, otherwise I'll never sleep. And also she made this. Now this is pretty impressive. It's a tag.
Yes.
That you can use in a journal. But look at the size and oops, put your dress tidy, love.
And there is a video on her channel showing exactly how to make this from scratch.
And isn't it lovely? It's all yarn, big, fluffy, wiggly bits of yarn. And then there's a doily. And there's this tag, which you can hang or hook from somewhere. And on the back, you can write some notes. So that's lovely. So thank you ever so much, Catherine. My tag, and my coffee. Thoroughly enjoying both of them. And I can't wait to drink the coffee too. Huckleberry coffee.
Yeah, and so if you fancy making that type of thing, then that's the lady to watch. And just for relaxation, to watch her as she does Tea Tuesdays is great fun.
Right, we've got this. And take it out the envelope down there because there's an address on it. And here we got a little colouring page. And on the back it says, "Hiya Phil and Caroline, trying out my new wood burner. Hope you enjoy, from Jenny." I haven't opened this. I could see it was a spoon. And I assume it's been burnt with wood.
No, it's wood and it's been burnt.
You're burnt it with wood. Oh, wow, that's impressive. Look at that. Pop your wellies on. Oh, you can't. It's looking me backwards to you, isn't it? What I could do with it is a mirror and then reflect it in the mirror and you could see what it was. Pop your wellies on.
See if I can find a mirror. I could do that.
Oh, don't worry. You won't be, it's going to be too technical.
Oh, I messed up on you somewhere.
Nope. Sit. I'll beat you with my spoon. No, we're never going to manage it.
I think we could.
There we got one Pop your wellies on spoon, so thank you ever so much. So there we go. Oh, that's my label of Catherine. So where can I put this now? Manky, can you look after it? It's a difficult thing to... Yes, I think you can just about see the top. Oh, I tell you what we could do. I could hang my thingy on...
Oh, no. I need that down anyway.
We need to get some hooks, really, don't we? You sit there and be yourself.
Yeah, I need that one down anyway for later.
There we go. I think that's it. Now, other than we've got the Halloween one for next week.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Right.
And Brian O'Brien just made a point in the comments, which I'll mention. It sounds like from experience they've realised if you do an anonymous donation on Ko-fi, you don't get access to the videos. You have to make a Ko-fi account.
Oh, right.
It doesn't cost anything to make a Ko-fi account. If you make a Ko-fi account and put yourself in, then you get to see the videos. So
right. Oh,
that's
sorry about that.
I wouldn't know that, but they've picked that up. So I thought I'd mention it because fair play, Brian wrote it, so I thought I'd just pass that on. If you have a look at the Hancock's bottle, my dear.
Yeah, sorry, I was...
you were enthralled.
Which bottle?
The big one.
The big one. I'll give you that.
Why use technical terms? The big one. There it is, folks. The big one. Hancock's of Cardiff and Swansea.
Oh, there. So thank you, Phyllis.
So there we go. And as you saw in the sunlight, a beautiful amber colour to that, and a really good size. And it's got a threaded top there, so that would have taken a twisting stopper. Vulcanized stopper would have gone in there. And it would have held beer. because they were brewers.
Big
And
bottle of beer.
around the top there, I hadn't noticed when we were up at the river. I was too busy recovering from my fall. There's stars. See?
Ooh, twinkle, twinkle.
That there is a star. And there's 1, 2, 3 stars on that. Now, whether that indicates something about what was contained within it, whether they had 3-star, 2-star, and 4-star, whether it's just their design, I don't know. But there's 3 stars on the top of there. And I happen to have a question.
Oh, a question. Ooh,
Related
let's have a
to
question.
this, you see. Right there.
I came back to us, see, not the card.
You're a genius. In 1883, William Hancock Jr. began brewing beer in Cardiff. And in 4 years, they had acquired 46 pubs in Cardiff and 31 in Newport. Yes, they do drink rather a lot in those particular cities. By 1893, that's in the first decade, they had also bought up 8 other breweries across South Wales. But this wasn't the beginnings of their family business in 1883. In what year did William Hancock Sr. start the family business?
We're going to start from now.
Was it A, 1807, B, 1837, or C, 1867? So is it 1807, 1837, or 1867 that old Mr. Hancock started the family business that his son then set up in Wales in 1883?
Right, so we've had a few preemptive answers, but this is the first one after I said now.
Oh, righty-o. Righty-o.
Well, I can't blame you for trying. Just as the problem.
Which one was that?
That one there.
Oh, there we go. There we go. We got
because
it.
there's, I think it's something like a 15-second delay or 10-second delay on this. So I know that until Phil asks the question, you're not going to come in for about 10 seconds afterwards. Right, so there we go. That's that question. Oh, let's move this bit of rusty bar out of the way. And do you want to do something while... Do you want to do that while we're waiting for the answers to come in?
Shall I do that, dear?
Yes, you do.
Shall I do that?
You can't see that.
Do you think I should do that? I think I should do that. Right. This was sent to us by Bob. Bob sent this. And that's Robert T. Road in here. Bob. And he's in tonight. And he sent us a lovely little image which looked a little bit Lucy Atwell-esque. That sort of type and time of a child in bare feet playing in the mud next to a rose bush. And here is the poem that was alongside it, because I have checked and this is royalty free and is now in the public domain.
What a man. You checked as well.
I did, because you'd panic.
Oh, it doesn't take a lot for YouTube to get upset with you.
That's right, and we don't want to upset YouTube. So, here we go. This is the poem that Bob sent us. It's called Mud by Polly Chase Bowden. Mud is very nice to feel, all squishy squash between the toes. I'd rather wade in wiggly mud than smell a yellow rose. Nobody else but the rose bush knows how nice mud feels between the toes. So there we are. One poem about
very
mud.
Nice.
And very clever as well.
It is, yes.
Because ultimately, of course, the roots of the rose bush go down into the soil. And that's where they get the poem from.
Yes.
So there we are. Thank you, Bob.
Very good. Thank you,
for
Bob.
the poem. That's absolutely brilliant.
Right, so we better get on with some answers.
Yes. And did we upload for that one? I don't think we did.
Oh, no.
I've got it on my computer, but we haven't uploaded it.
We'll do that next week, definitely.
It's on that card, but it's not on anything
Right,
else.
so it's on Phil's computer, and the whole system is running on my computer. So
anyway, we'll get back to the question, then I'll tell you what it is we haven't got, and then next week we can share it with you. So, the correct answer, top of the tree, Gunnar Ali.
Well done.
Who I believe was the composer of our Mudlarking version of Men of Allah. See, we're having poetry, we're having
we're
songs.
so cultural on
I
this
tell you
programme.
what, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
amazing. Yeah,
I tell you what. And now Gunnar Ali has come in with A, 1807.
Well done.
Because that's when Papa Hancock started the family business. Who else got A? Lynn Bean. Seen that name before. And on third position this time, but still in with the correct answer, Mr. Adam Gates Mudlarking. So it's Gunnar Ali, Lynn Bean and Adam Gates that picks up the answers because Mr. William Hancock Sr. started the family firm in 1807. There we go.
Jeff, I haven't got a clue. Jeff's put something in, looks upside down, back to front. I'm trying to read it and you've beaten me. You're going to have to...
He's got... ooh.
Can you read it?
Had to pop out and...
What was gone?
Had to pop out and missed your question.
Ah! We got there.
And then the sad face would be a smiley face, except it's in backwards.
Yeah.
Unless it's a sad face because he missed the question.
Oh, Jeff, it's nearly 10 o'clock.
Well, just
Don't do this to me.
Just so that you do not go around ill-informed and not knowing, Jeff, what we asked was, when was the Hancock's family firm founded? And that's the guy that produced this bottle and the beer that was in it. They started in Wales in 1883, but the old man had started the firm back in 1808. So that's what you missed.
Night, Derek.
The answer was 1808. Night, Derek. Great you could join us. All the best. Keep well. Right then. I'm going to have to disappear in a moment because there's something I have to fetch in order to show the next find.
Right, so you're going to leave me here all on my own some loans.
I am. I'm going to leave
I'll
you
have to dance and sing and tell a joke.
Yes, or show a find.
Or show a find.
Yes.
Right then.
And the one jar over there was Wye Valley.
Thank you. Right, I'll show you the Wye Valley one then. Seeing as Phil's told you all about the Wye Valley name now. It's this jar here, isn't it pretty? It's got like that pattern on there, and see if I can show you. On the front it's got like where you would stick the label. I suppose if it was a fancy box it would be called the cartouche. And it's all flat there so you can stick a label on. And I love that.
Yes.
A little bit of ASMR there. It's all, I don't know what you, there is a name for that, isn't it? Hob cut or hobnail cut, something like that. But I'm not sure. So if any of you are really geniuses or genii and you know, is that a hobnail cut glass?
And the reason I know that is Wye Valley Preserve is because one of our very clever followers told me in the comments, and the reason they know is because they watch... is it? Name was in my head a minute ago, now it's gone. Paragon.
Vintage Paragon.
Vintage Paragon UK. Who used to be based in Wales, but now has moved out. But I'm sure he'll come back for a visit sometime. When he does, we'd love to meet up with him.
Thank you. Little Albag said hobnail. Thank you.
Yes, it's Wye Valley Preserves was in that jar. So there we go. Very Welshy thing.
Jeff, you're going to tell everybody now it's mirror your text translator app, but then I'm not going to be able to understand any of the chat. You could all put it back in and reverse it and I'd be like, oh.
Right then. The reason I had to pop out is because of this bottle. Saxon and Co. Bryn Mawr. Now, we've seen that before, but it wasn't on a bottle. But it was in that dump. Probably one of our most... What's the word?
Ooh, it could be anything. I don't know what you're thinking.
Satisfying finds, I suppose, because it was this, which we found in pieces in that very dump and then glued back together. You can see all the cracks in it there, where it was, we found 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, we put them together and it was all there. But see, it's the same company. Saxon and Co. Bryn Mawr.
It's been very popular with the people in Tredegar.
Indeed. Well, it was only about, 2 miles over the mountain? The mountain stood behind us there. The mountain we went up onto to show you where an Iron Bevan used to do his speeches down the other side of that mountain is Bryn Mawr.
It is.
So there it is, Saxon and Co. Bryn Mawr. But here's what I like about this bottle.
What do you like about this bottle?
What I like about this bottle is what it says on the back. Because there it says, open with a coin. And then in case you thought you had to open this end, they thought they're really dull in Bryn Mawr, so we're going to give them an arrow pointing up here. So it's open with a coin and an arrow to make sure you know which end to open.
Very useful.
I think you can be too informative.
On the other hand, if it's the third bottle, you may need a little bit of help to know
Maybe
which end to open.
it was a strong brew and they wanted to make sure you knew which end you were. But there it is, open with a coin, and there's an arrow going up there pointing to the top of the bottle. So you could put a coin in there and go and flip the top off. Isn't that clever?
It is.
I thought that was very creative of them. But there we go. That was found at the dump, which we found this.
Which always seemed very big until Phil found his latest massive one.
Yes, which also we built and put back together.
Yes, and I've now stolen. And it's in my office and I use it to weight down papers when I'm gluing them and waiting for them to dry. So everybody else has these little tiny presses and things, and I have this big, huge flagon on the top.
There's something nice about turning up sort of 18 months later and finding something associated with. Because that's one thing for that area of the Sarawi River. It's given us some lovely finds, but it's nothing like when we travel to visit other people in their area. It's the odd thing now and again. But I'll tell you what always catches us up there, and we've been there in every season, and that's the location.
Yeah, even in the snow, it's beautiful.
It is, and we have filmed it in the snow. It was our old camera, so we'll have to go back in the snow with a new camera when it snows this year. But it's on the old camera, but if you look it up, we have been there in the snow, and it was cold.
Oh, hello Jeremiah, J3B is in. If you're into metal detecting, you can check his channel out. He's over in America. And let's have a look. Ooh, chatty. Okay, Sally said my favourite instructions are on the shampoo bottle. I'm not quite sure whether I'm missing something here. Probably. Right, so what are we doing now? We've had...
I'm going to show this.
You're going to show me glass.
I'm going to show my glass because I don't know if this is going to work. This is the lump of glass that I picked up on the river. But when I cleaned it up and looked up to the light, I couldn't get over how beautiful it was, because the chips, there's chips out of it. When they shine through, they look really beautiful, as do the imperfections, because this glass has got lots of air bubbles and things in it. So I'm hoping that I can get the effect there that I had.
I
think that's working.
Altering the... Yeah, I was just wondering whether you could alter the focus on it, whether it would be a bit easier to see. Oh, you can see the holes there, can't you?
But the cracks, the chips, and the pinholes and the air bubbles just looked absolutely stunning when I held it up to the light when I was washing it in the garage earlier on. And I was hoping to be able to recreate it for you a little, and hopefully that looks okay. There we go.
Yes, Linda, I think everybody's seeing everything backwards today. I've done something. I'll have to get tech support team to fix it. I've ruined something. I've clicked something and I don't know what I've done.
Now, seeing as there's 2 questions to go and 4 minutes, do you want a question?
A question? Okie dokie. There we go. Look. I cut it quick so we could get on with things, and he's busy looking
Just
for
to bring it back, because Caroline put up the find first that I was asking the 4th question on. This is the slipware
Keep
for
you on
those.
your toes.
But there's 135 people in now, so some have joined us, so they get to see the slipware. And anyway, I'll put it up just for Adam, because then he'll be licking his screen now. So
Probably.
He will. Adam wants to eat our slipware because he thinks it's chocolate or caramel. Right then, slipware was being produced in England from the 17th century. But which European nation began to produce slipware in the 15th century? Was it A, Italy, B, Spain, or C, France?
Right, while you're doing that, my coffee alert hasn't been going off on my end. And Jeff, sorry about that, Jeff. He said, just so I can interrupt Caroline as well, and gave us a £3 coffee donation.
Aha, that's the thing.
Thank you, Jeff, and you didn't get to interrupt me. So, sorry about that.
So if you want to know the advantages of Super Chat, even though they deduct from it, it means you can interrupt us, but it doesn't interrupt us.
I would normally know, but for some reason it went off at the beginning of the show, but it hasn't gone off now. And Catherine just said, have you got the notice? Yes, thank you, Catherine. She's given us £3 a month, so that's really kind of you, Catherine. Thank you ever so much. Love your escapades. Carry on mudding. Hugs, Catherine. Thank you, that's lovely. And thank you, of course, Jeff. That's really kind of you, even if it was that you could interrupt me. Right, I've got to get my screens back now. Everything takes so long to fiddle with. And
of course, you weren't here to check if any naughty people were coming in early.
I wasn't.
Ah, see.
So the naughty people might have an advantage.
Well, I'm working on the premise that there were no letters before somebody made a verbal guess.
Right.
And they guessed a country that wasn't on the list.
So you're on to it then. You know.
So I reckon we just take it from there and see who gets the right answer.
Adam said that pottery was delicious, thanks. Calm yourself, lad, calm yourself. You're not allowed to eat the pottery. Right, so... Oh, Flower Girl in Ward 17 said, now I need to make some peanut brittle. Oh, I love that. Num num num. Anything with peanuts. I love peanuts. Is it just me? Have they got a regular warm taste to them when you're chewing them? They're just so comforting. Terrible waste of calories, but I love them.
Right, this is interesting.
Oh, interesting.
2 people have guessed countries that weren't on the list.
Right.
Perhaps they just thought I was wrong, or they were trying to preempt me. And then the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... First 6 answers that were on the list are wrong.
Right.
So it's really thrown people. Mind you, it threw you, didn't it? This one.
Well, I was busy over trying to
No,
sort
I
out
mean
my
when
coffee,
I asked you earlier in the day.
Yeah, so I can't even remember what the question was.
It was which country was producing
right.
slipware in the 15th
I had
century.
No idea.
You took a guess and you got it wrong, and you guessed the same as most people are guessing.
Right, so do you need some time? Shall I do something else while you're working it out?
I'm just trying to find where the top is. Hang on, there we go. Right. We have got some answers in. As I say, I would say they're probably about 5 to 1 incorrect. And
right.
one particular country is extremely popular and wrong. Because it may surprise many of you to know that the answer is Italy.
Didn't know that.
Italy were producing slipware in the 15th century. Spain and France, 16th century. Britain, 17th century. So there we are. It obviously worked its way up through Europe as a design style, but it started down there in Italy. Now, I'm pretty sure that when we get the name up here, Dean Wall, that's somebody else using that account, and it's not Dean. I'm almost certain of that. So we're giving credit possibly to someone else.
Right.
But whoever's there operating under the name of Dean Wall, you have got top of the tree. You've got the goal position because you were the first person. You were about the 7th answer, but you were the first person to come up with Italy.
And you're having a peanut butter sandwich too. Oh, I'm jealous now. I want a peanut butter sandwich.
And then 2 answers later, we had A again from Lynette Evans.
Well done, Lynette.
Who's been on the podiums as well again tonight. Then I've got to go down, away, down, away, down, away. And, showing off now, Meredith. She wrote the whole word. Italy. So
well done, Meredith.
There we have it. So we have Dean Wall, Lynette Evans and Meredith.
Stop it, Jeff.
And a close outsider was Christina Mitazaki, who was 4th. There we go. Well done, folks. But Caroline said France, didn't you?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
And quite a lot of people said France.
I don't know why I said France. So it wasn't an intellectual guess. It was no idea at all.
Now, just to give a mention, because there may be somebody out there waiting for their name to be mentioned at this point, because I said that we were going to do something tonight, but I've made the mistake. It's on my computer, not Caroline's. There's a young man by the name of Dakota. He's one of our keenest fans and he's really big into the show, along with his grandma. The two of them, they love this show. And they went out into their pony paddock to have a bit of a clean up. And he decided to turn it into a bit of a mudlark.
Yeah, clever idea.
And he was excited with his finds. So excited, he insisted that we be sent a photograph for us to see what he found. And we asked his permission to put it out tonight for everyone to see what he found. And they're on the wrong computer.
Yeah, so
they will
Dakota.
be there. The pictures will be up next week. But a big shout out for Dakota for being such a good fan, for keeping in touch with us through the emails, letting us know how things are going over there. And brilliant finds. I'll tell you now, there was a coin, there was a green marble, and Caroline went, ooh, because there was what looks like the skeleton of a small creature.
I'm not very good with skeletons.
So that we will have all of the finds in the picture on the show next week. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say to Dakota, fantastic finds. Keep up the good work. Keep enjoying the hunting. And we'll show you a picture next week. There we go.
Right, so have we done all the questions now?
No.
No, we better do another question because it's gone 10 o'clock. People are going to bed. They're collapsing with exhaustion.
That's all right. 128 of them are hanging in. 87 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. We're doing good. Go for it.
Okay, then.
Have a question. Right then, folks. Final question of the night. Bring the show to its close.
Right, come on now, do your best.
The standing stones that we visited, which mark where Aneurin Bevan made his speeches, as it said on the stone, to his constituents and to the world, were put up almost 20 years ago. They haven't been up that long. Almost 20 years ago, they were unveiled. But how long ago did work start on the famous Stonehenge? Was it A, 3,000, B, 5,000, or C, 7,000 years ago?
Oh, Lexi can't answer if she's got a cattail smacking her in the face. Oh dear.
Right then, what do you think, folks?
Then. So it is right. Okay then. So we're there. Can you see there?
Radio.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Meredith. She keeps saying like. How many likes have we got now?
92.
Ooh, 90. Another 8 and we can have 100.
thumbs up. We're on our way.
Oh,
we're on our way.
Another 8 of you, please give us a thumbs up. That would be brilliant. And we got 2 thumbs down, but we don't mind.
We'll guess some right at the end because some people are waiting to see if we mess it up in the last 2 minutes.
That's right. Are they going to make it to the end?
They may be rubbish in the last 2 minutes.
Could be.
But 94. It's climbing. So what do you think, folks? 20 years ago, they unveiled, or just under 20 years ago, they unveiled the stones from Aneurin Bevan. But of course...
I can't.
Yeah.
Yep, right.
But, of course, Stonehenge has been around a little longer than that. Do you think it's been around for A, 3,000 years, B, 5,000 years, or C, 7,000 years?
I got this one wrong. I was very over-optimistic. So we'll be interested to see how many other people get it. So Meredith, you must be wearing out the L-I-K-E and exclamation key. Thank you. How are we doing now?
And
hey, well done, Meredith. And thank you to everybody who's given us that thumbs up. It's great. And the thing is, it tells YouTube that people actually enjoy watching us, and so they'll promote us more that way, and then more people get to watch.
Indeed.
And then, if you know any friends who are lonely, even if they're not mudlarkers, if they want something to do on a Saturday night, why don't you tell them, share our link with them and get them to come in and watch and chat and things, because it really is a good place to have some company, especially if you've been on your own all week. And I know some people are. They don't see many people, so come on in and have a chat.
It's the only reason we started. It was because everyone was locked down, wasn't it?
That's right.
We said we'll do this for the lockdown, which was like March last year. And then we just never stopped.
No.
Because it seems people like being together. They like chatting to each other. They like just having a bit of fun for an hour on a Saturday night.
We miss you all when we don't do a live show, when we do the not live show. I still come on and we do the chat because you're just part of our friends and family now. So And I think a lot of people are feeling like that. It's just nice to be part of a group. So
Indeed.
if you know anybody who would appreciate that, then get them to come along and we'll have an even bigger group.
Right then, here we go. The answer is 5,000 years.
Well done, if you got that right. I didn't.
Caroline thought it was 7,000
I know.
years.
Very over-optimistic.
And Jeff would have been in a podium position again. I tell you, he's been fast tonight. You can tell he's on the mend,
Oof.
but he keeps getting the wrong answer. Or at least he's pushing the wrong key.
That's
Because
what he did.
Jeff was going the other way. He was playing safe.
He's
He
not
thought-
used to using the computers.
He thought 3,000 years. But Adam's there again on number 1. I tell you what, he's king of the quizzes, our Adam. He's not just an early bird, he's also the king of the quiz because he's got, just to confuse me, but number 2. So I'm assuming he's not saying 2 years.
Yeah. No.
And I'm also assuming he's done the Stone Age in history. But there we go. Adam, you're on gold position.
Well done, Adam.
Richard Serridge, you're taking silver today,
Well done,
sir.
Richard.
And it's right then. Forag Forsyth. Have I got that right?
He pronounces that differently every
Sorry.
week, doesn't he?
I'm very sorry. It's Feo with an accent, R-A-G. Forag?
Well done. I think Foirag, she said you
Foirag.
did it right on.
Forag. Forag Forsyth. There we are. So it's Adam, Richard and Forag. You've got the top 3 places on our question, and that's the end of the quiz.
Jan said, I keep asking you to adopt me, Mum and Dad. Yes, the more the merrier. We'll adopt you as aunties, uncles, mothers, fathers, nieces, nephews.
We have unofficially
Join the
adopted so
family.
many people. We have had so many kids calling us Mum and Dad when our kids were bringing them home, weren't they?
I know, Mum and Dad to everybody.
Yeah, I was Mum and Dad to them all. But that I wasn't. I was Dad. He was Mum. It's a long night. It's gone 10
is.
o'clock.
Oh, it has been a long day today.
So much more to do, and it's been a long day. But
Oh, Foirag said one day I'll do a video of me pronouncing it. That would be great. And if you can show it on the show, then everybody who chats you will know how to pronounce your name then. That would be excellent.
yes, I'm so sorry because if I'm getting it wrong, but congratulations on getting yourself into a winning position on that question. Right then.
It's been
Right then.
great having you along, and we'll see you all next time. But until then, don't forget, have fun.
Bye.